You are listening to the Any Anime Podcast.
Kevin, Tanner,
Angel.
did you boys watch the trailer I put in the chat?
No. When?
The deer?
Earlier today, the deer one.
Oh, Nokotan. I've seen a bunch of stuff on Twitter about it coming up. Bro, why is Cade so against it? Has he been traumatized? Has he been traumatized by fucking Inukai and the fucking pig one, which sounded really weird, at least from the
just watch the trailer. Watch the trailer. It's absolutely
okay.
Something.
1 minute 40. We're getting live reaction here.
Yeah. Let's get a live reaction, Tanner. Come on.
All right. CGI deer. And Wit Studio.
It's Wit Studio?
It is a Wit Studio anime.
Holy shit, I didn't know that. All right, I'm excited now.
Bro, the trailers got me excited. That's all I needed.
Why?
I still haven't seen the trailer.
Wait, okay, literally I'm 40 seconds in. Why is Cade saying, "Oh no, this looks incredible"?
I bet you he hasn't watched it. I think he just saw the girl with the antlers.
What the fuck?
Okay. All right. I put it on. What the fuck? Oh god, the CG deer is fucking CG. Holy shit. Okay. An endearing watch. That's
Bro,
good.
this
That's
looks
good.
fucking amazing, Angel. What the fuck?
Yes, that's why I posted it, Tanner. And this is an official trailer? Oh.
What the hell?
Tanner, how high do you have to be to pitch this idea?
You don't.
You know what's so funny is, besides taking aside animation style, I'm getting like low-key Nichijou vibes.
Yes. I was gonna say that, but I was waiting for you to finish since I heard you like watching it. Oh my god!
Wow!
It's Nichijou, but like even more absurd.
Somehow, yeah.
It looks great. I have no clue why Cade reacted so negatively.
I'm telling you, he didn't watch it. You just saw the antlers.
Must watch next season.
100%.
Absolutely must watch. Oh, it's next season.
I think it's.
July 7th. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm hyped, bro. That's
wow.
Watch party.
That's post AX.
Morning of AX.
Oh,
July 7th.
Wait.
You said July 7th, right?
July 7th.
AX is 1st through 4th.
No, 4 through 7, right?
Is it 4th through 7th?
No, 4 through 7. 4 through 7. 4 through 7.
Oh,
yes.
Tanner, you didn't ask for the wrong days off, did you?
What?
You didn't ask for the wrong days off, did you?
No, I didn't. I have the right days off. I'm just mixing it up in my head. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. I wouldn't fuck that up.
This is how we find out.
Well, I would have time to change it still. Don't worry. But
all right, boys. Why don't we go ahead and get started with this rendition of the AAP. That's right. Tanner?
That's right. This is not the archival anarchist planet.
Everyone knows that.
No, never. Kevin, what is this?
This is the Any Anime Podcast, brought to you live to your ears. Well, whenever you press play, it'll be in your ears. Right?
It better
That's how
be,
this works?
or else I don't know how you'd be consuming this.
Of course, this panel of excellent gentlemen includes myself, the clammy crocodile, Kevin. Of course, joining me this week, we've got tenacious Tanuki Tanner and angelic angel face angel here with us. I couldn't think of an
worst
animal
one.
name.
You got the triple
Yeah.
angel.
You got I couldn't think of any animals starting with the letter A. There's not very many. I don't
Aardvark.
think. Well, it's been done, Arthur and stuff.
Oh man, yeah. What else?
That's what I'm saying. Angel, would you rather be the arachnid,
Animals.
the angry arachnid angel?
Kevin,
Sure.
you're forgetting about the albatross, the alpaca, the alligator,
You're right. Alpaca would have been good, given your Latin roots, Angel.
the antelope, the ant.
Antelope would have been fitting, given the trailer we just watched.
You're right. Axolotl.
I forget the axolotl exists. Boys, but we're not just the gentlemen with fancy creature-themed names. And yes, I am considering angels creatures, especially when you consider their biblically accurate roots.
angels.
But we are also purveyors of anime. Am I using that word right?
Purveyors? Probably. It sounded right, man.
It sounded right? But it just didn't feel right when I said it.
A purveyor is a person who sells or deals in particular goods, or a person or group that spreads or promotes an idea, view, etc.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. I knew I was right. 100% confidence. Didn't even have to check. Tanner was just curious. He had never heard the word before.
That's right. You know me, my limited vocabulary.
Mhm.
Words no do good.
Words no good, do good. That's why you dropped out of middle school.
That's right. I'm actually an elementary school dropout, Kevin. I just say middle school to make it sound better.
Ah, shoot. That you know what, Tanner? You're so brave for coming out with your truth. Besides revealing our most vulnerable truths that we keep hidden deep within us, we also I kind of already did this. Well, you get the point. This is an anime podcast. We review anime. We talk about them. And this week is the final week of the mid-season review of spring 2024. And it's funny because it doesn't feel like spring 2024. It feels like summer. It feels like summer part 1. I'm not a fan.
Fucking hot recently. I don't know if that's what you're relating it to, but
that is absolutely what I'm relating this to. This is wild. Why do we live in California?
Why?
That's a good question.
Just to suffer.
I just doxed ourselves. yeah. I think we are. This week, boys, we have 3 shows on the docket: Mysterious Disappearances, The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio, and Spice and Wolf: Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf. And of course, at the end of this episode,
I forgot we were doing Spice and Wolf.
did you?
This guy.
He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it at all. This week, we're also previewing the wild card week, which a sneak peek from week 4 to now, which is week 7. We have 4 shows that have snuck in to the wild card spots. None of them are higher than 10, and yet we don't discriminate here. We're gonna watch them. There's one in particular that I am very much dreading.
Kevin, please enlighten us as to what these shows might be.
No, that's at the end. We're doing that at
Fine.
the end, Tanner.
Because
No.
I was
No
curious.
No spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Let's just say that there's a certain prince that I'm not looking forward to watching.
7th Prince.
Shay, hey, I didn't say nothing, all right?
I'm assuming you're also doing cheating
Angel.
second level opening.
He doesn't
I don't
even know. He pretends he knows, but he doesn't know. It's okay, Angel. It's okay. You don't have the... Oh, no, he's right.
Good thing I wasn't listening.
Tanner's like, Angel speaks. I mute.
There's actually an auto mute function for specifically Angel. Oh yeah, sorry. I almost forgot one of the most important things. Cade's not joining us this week, and for a couple of weeks, as he gets his life sorted in a new city. But we will still reveal his vote at the end. We got to come up with an animal name for Cade. Tanner, I'll give you time to ruminate. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and start with the show that was more lowerly ranked when we did the reviews, which would be Mysterious Disappearances, which I believe Angel, you took the time, had the patience to watch.
I just finished watching it. Yes.
Perfect. Angel, tell us about this bodacious babe.
Audacious, indeed.
The show won't let you forget. Neither does the description, if you remember.
I don't recall the description.
Really?
Enlightening me.
Busty bookstore clerk?
Oh, okay.
The first sentence?
That is all I need to remember.
Okay, good.
Right. I remember that.
It was just so blatant. I was so surprised. But Angel, what did you think of the show?
It's an interesting show. I'm not sure if it's up my type of genre per se.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me almost. Tanner, what's that one show you really like?
That we all hate.
The one the one with the girl, but is a boy, but is a girl.
What?
You know, I don't know.
Girl, but is a boy, but is a girl that I really like. I'm actually confused by that description.
I'm very confused. Are we thinking
is it a romance?
Ouran Host Club?
Dang, if only I could recall the show.
Are you?
Anyways, Tanner
I don't understand.
Tanner is gonna remember in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
It's like a suspense mystery show, Tanner. It came out like 2 seasons ago, but hey, it's not important. It gives me those type of vibes.
Give Mayroco-chan?
No, not Mayroco.
Okay, good. I was gonna be flabbergasted if that was it. I have no idea. Let's keep talking about it. What this show? It's almost like we're playing 10 questions without the game. Is what you've just set up, Angel. So let's talk about the premise of the show a little bit. What is the premise? It's supernatural mystery.
It's a supernatural mystery for sure.
There's an element of Angel, did you watch? Oh my God. Dark Gathering.
I did not watch Dark Gathering.
You did not? Okay. That would have been like one of the best comparisons I could have gotten you to understand what this is. But essentially,
it's the show that has like a laboratory lab half the time with the kids.
You're talking. Oh, it's my favorite anime, Kevin.
Yes. What is
Goku?
Goku.
Oh my God!
You're not even thinking of the main characters.
That's wild.
No,
that's wild.
Yes, but no. Oh,
no, you're not. Well, okay, yes, you are, but also no. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Girl, but is a guy, but is a girl. Yes, is an accurate description.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why the first thing that came to mind though was fucking the kid in the fucking experiment, who you think is a guy the whole time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, pregnant.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
No. No. That's wild. That's wild. I don't think Tengoku's the best comparison here.
Well, that's the only show I could compare it to.
It's the only show you
recently.
can.
Yes,
Fair
in terms of like
enough.
supernatural, like mystery suspense kind of show, I guess.
Let's see. I think. How about a less weird Monogatari? Like a more straightforward Monogatari series anime. You see what I'm saying? There's like the relics, there's like the weird powers / like curses, you know. Not any action.
I see I guess you could make that comparison.
I am trying to go based off what I know you've watched. So that's why I'm adding a lot of stipulations there. But okay, so episode 1, you meet this, and this is a quote, don't cancel me, busty bookstore clerk. And
would you not say that?
Well, is it cancelable?
Not to her face. Fair. And she's working in this bookstore with the kid. It is a high school aged kid, right? They don't establish his age ever, I don't believe.
They have not established. I feel like he's older than he looks. One of those, like, looks 15, is 300.
Yeah. I'm getting those kind of vibes as well. At the very least, he has experience beyond his years.
Yeah.
Given the nature of the work that he's in. So that could be what's doing it. But also, she always says that he's younger, but he works in a bookstore. And I think the implication is that he's not in school.
You know
his sister's going to school and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think he's supposed to be at least an adult.
I think so too.
He's just very short.
So they flirt with each other a little bit. Well, he mainly is
it's
flirting with her. Yeah, it's a very one-sided affair there. But the bookstore clerk, her name is Ogawa. So we'll just call her Ogawa from now on. Ogawa, I almost did it again. Ogawa was a former novelist who had some praise when she was a kid, as like a Japan's best newcomer or something. But she's been basically in a slump ever since. She receives a book, coincidentally, that makes her turn back into the age where she won that award. And it's an interesting introduction to this show because they introduce the concept of like, reality manipulation, curses, and they also introduce the consequences of those curses very interestingly. Because she turns younger, she has the blood of an adult in a child, so she's like leaking blood constantly. And also, I think
the volume of an adult, I guess.
Yes, the volume of an adult. Yeah. And I think there was an implication of like her body was not going to be able to withstand being like compressed for much longer as well, or I don't even know.
Yeah. That
was all episode 1. Ren turns out to be a supernatural detective, problem solver. I don't know what you call it. Warrior of justice. He recognizes that something's wrong with her, gets the book, and they have this kind of hilarious exchange where she's able to turn older and younger at will so she can escape his clutches. Because he wants her to live, obviously, but she wants to kind of regain that youth because she feels like she might be able to write again. And ultimately, she relinquishes the book and tells Ren, like, yo, you're right. I can't keep running away from my problems. And he's like, sweet. And then she could just turn older and younger without the book anyways. That was fun. That was a fun detail. And the next 2 episodes are Ren, Ogawa, and Ren's sister Oto. There's a supernatural occurrence happening at the school. It turns out that the teacher is cursing bullies so that they drool excessively. And I don't remember, what was the was there a consequence for the teacher using that? I actually don't remember.
There was, aside from having to, lick the ground, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Did she lick the drool at some point?
It looked like it, did not.
It looked like she did.
Yes. So
it's weird. Okay, if you remember it, then I remember it.
yes, you're not wrong. It was at the end of episode 2.
So there turns out to be like, a fix for that as well that he is able to enact, and they solve the mystery, and boom, everything's peaches and gravy. That's the general gist of the first 3 episodes. Angel, is it fair to say that Mysterious Disappearances is at least interesting?
Yes, yeah, you could say that.
I found so here's the thing. I have a little bit of a bias towards anime that have like some mystery / detective elements in them, and not that the detective elements are that great in this anime at all, but there's still a little bit of that thriller feeling that permeates the series so far. So I actually found myself quite enjoying it. Is there any negatives that you have, Angel, with the show?
I can't say I do. I didn't really think about any negatives as I was watching it, so maybe you could point something out.
I couldn't necessarily see any. I do wish that the mysteries were maybe a little bit more fleshed out. Like the teacher, it was pretty obvious the teacher was the culprit from the beginnings of episode 2. You know what I mean? So that was a little disappointing. It kind of has a similar feeling to. I'm trying to think. To like shows where there's like an expert in supernatural that is just like, oh well, they go on this like word soup of this and that's why this and that. But it's not like there's a lot of clues for even us as the audience to follow and maybe even potentially like get, other than like obvious writing. So I found the mystery aspect to be lacking. It's definitely a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. Angel, would you say you're on the side of liking it, not liking it, passing it, not passing it? What's your vibe here?
I wouldn't mind watching more, is what I would say.
Well, the question is, would you watch more for the end of season review?
I could.
You could. You don't have to. There's a stipulation here.
All right. So, like I said, this is not really a genre I enjoy watching for the most part, I guess I would say. So I'll pass. Very hesitant, but it's a pass for me.
Is the hesitancy just from like your lack of experience with the genre?
No, so you can also watch it. Forces you to watch it.
It does kind of force me to watch it. I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing more. I think there needs to be more shows like this. And again, I know that's a bias. But there's something so nice about this formula to me.
Give us more caterpillar brows.
Give us more. You know what? Yes, actual agreement. Give us more adult protagonists. That also matters a lot to me these days.
She's not an adult half the time.
True. You're factually correct. Because to solve the high school mystery, she has to
become a high schooler.
Revert to the age of a high schooler, which again, I guess her body's too compressed as a child, but not a high schooler. They don't say it explicitly, but that's basically the implication of why she's able to just do it on the fly. It's a pass for me. It's a pass for sure.
What did Cade
It-
say on this show?
Cade. Well, my boy Cade. He gave Mysterious a passer. Passer. So that's a
Passer.
unanimous pass.
Possible.
I do think that this show's ceiling is probably a B tier. But I wouldn't
I
be
think it could have a
shocked.
high. I think it could have like a high B tier as a ceiling. I don't see it reaching that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think its floor is probably a B minus. So I think I'm
Its
fine
floor
with
is a C.
that. You think its floor is a C? I just, with this genre, I just find it hard for me to think that they could lose momentum that hard. But you know, you never know. We've all seen Tacto P in Promised Neverlands, so you never know.
Never know.
Mysterious Disappearances, a pass for the week. Let's go ahead and talk about the next show on the list. A show that Tanner and I watched.
That's right.
The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio.
That's the show.
I did not.
That
watch.
is the show. I know you didn't watch. You were like, I'm going to fail it without even watching it.
Is that what he said?
That
Yeah.
is exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Tanner,
Kevin.
why don't you give us a quick overview of the first 3 episodes of Voice Actor
Alright.
Radio?
2 girls are voice actors.
1 cup. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about that.
What? Oh my God. Sorry. I was just just taken aback by that scene.
Mhm.
I purged it from my mind. No, these 2 girls are. I'm kind of gonna give just like the quick and nerdy explanation of this.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Not like that, Kevin. Get your head out of the
You gonna spit on it too, or what?
Take your head out of the drain. Unclog your sewers.
Mm-hmm. Is this a metaphor?
No.
Oh, all right. Fair
You should
enough.
take this literally. Have you checked if your refrigerator is running?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, you better catch it. Anyways. So there's these 2 girls who are voice actors, right? One of them is they're both like idol voice actors. So they have a presence outside of just voice acting. They
Correct.
also do live performances, songs and things like that. Unbeknownst to them at the beginning of the show, they're actually in the same class in high school. But they know of each other as their respective voice actors or idols or however you want to call them, right? And one of them, Sato.
Don't worry.
Sato. I remember one of the names. She's the blonde one.
That's her idol name.
No, isn't Sato her real name, or am I wrong?
I believe that's her idol name.
Oh, well, either way.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
blonde one.
Yumiko Sato is her stage name.
Okay.
That is what they call her for the most part. So
Yeah, true. The other girl, Yuhi, she calls her Sato all the time. I guess I only remember their stage names, but
actually, it's funny you say that because Yuhi is her real name.
No,
And Chika is her stage name.
Yugure Yuhi, right? Isn't that not her idol name? Yugure
No, that's
Yuhi?
her real name. That's her real name.
Are you sure about that?
I'm like pretty sure. Or does my enemy list have them listed in reverse? Because the
I was
quotes
like-
should be the stage name, right?
Many sides of voice actor radio. I need to Google this now.
No,
Yuhi
it's gonna
Yugure
bother.
/ Watanabe Chika. And there's Yasumi Utatane and Yumiko Sato. So yeah, Sato is her real name, and Yasumi Utatane is her stage name. The blonde one.
My anime list has gotten it backwards.
And Yuhi Yugure is her stage name, the blue-haired one, and Chika Watanabe is her real name.
All right, for the sake of clarity, we will go with the blonde and the blue.
All right, so the blonde girl, as her persona as an idol / voice actor, she is, just like a very sort of standardly attractive and like mild-mannered girl, right? But in reality, she is a gyaru. Kevin, you love to explain gyaru.
Do I? Is this my thing?
Yes, because you did with the last time there was a gyaru show. Oh, it was the Hokkaido girl. Hokkaido
gals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm being put on the spot here. Tanner, correct me if I'm wrong, but gyaru is just girl, but very drunk in Japanese.
In essence, they are just saying girl, but there is a difference between gyaru and garu, like girl. Like there's like a slight pronunciation difference. But anyway, so gyaru, loves to be outwardly expressive with her image, long nails, sort of more of a maybe like a Western expression, I would say. Whereas Watanabe, the blue-haired one, she is the epitome of gloomy and just quiet and unlikable, at least upon first impressions, right?
And you're talking about real life, not her idol.
Real life. Her persona is sort of the same as Yasumi. I'm just gonna go by their stage names, Yasumi and Yuhi. So the blonde hair girl, except for I would say that Yuhi, the blue hair girl, is more what you would think of as like your sort of usual idol in terms of like image, I guess. At least that's kind of the vibe that I got watching it.
Sure.
But yeah, so they only find out that they are both idols or both voice actors, I guess, because I think they really more identify with the voice actor portion. After they end up working together on this project called Kokosei radio, like basically like the high school radio or something like that, high school voice actor radio. I don't know. Basically, they're playing off the fact that in real life they are both in the same class, but the problem is they fucking hate each other. They do not mesh. Their personalities are total opposites. Like the blue-haired girl, Yuhi, is super abrasive, whereas the blonde-haired girl, Yasumi, is like really outgoing, sort of the bubbly type, right? And so they're forced to work on this project sort of begrudgingly. But as they go on and they sort of in a way like method act out this project they're working on. So they try to end up doing things that real actual high school friends would do. They sort of start to form a deeper relationship, sort of start to become, sort of enemies to lovers kind of vibe is what I'm getting from these first 3 episodes. They go and they get a snack at the butcher shop because one of the bits is that the blue hair girl doesn't know that butcher shops sell croquettes, right? And then they eventually end up going on, or they end up having like a sleepover together, and that really ends up deepening their bond. But then they also have this sort of like competitive nature to the both of them. They both want to be better than the other. They both recognize that the other person is skilled in what they do. And so it creates this sense of like competitiveness, but also like jealousy in certain times, and they sort of it creates more friction at times, I guess, and that's one of the big things in episode 3, I believe. Kevin, I will say though, because that's kind of the gist of the show, I would say, from overall. But I'm gonna sort of divert off of the general synopsis of what happens and go into more details. And I'll have I only wrote down one note. I never write notes, but I needed to remember this.
Okay.
And all I wrote was Kazuma hands.
Now, why did you write that?
I was taken aback by the scene in their sleepover, Kevin, where they share. You know what I'm talking about, right? Kazuma hands.
They share the bath.
They share the bath. Kazuma from
Konosuba.
Konosuba. The steel magic.
Yeah. Like all 10 digits are wriggling and worming.
They're wriggling, man. Oh my god. That was the most notable thing that took me like out of this show. What made me go, what the fuck? Because like overall the show takes itself, I'd say, fairly seriously up until that point. Oh my god, it was just so funny. So basically the one girl, Yuhi, blue hair girl, she essentially like they end up in a bath together because she's like, oh, this is what friends do. And the blonde hair girl is like, well, in bathhouses, not in like your own personal bath in your house, right? Blue hair girl, she's jealous that the blonde hair girl is blue has big boobs. Of course, you always got to focus on the boobs in anime.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
It's like real life.
Of course. And yeah, Yuhi, the blue hair girl, she's like, oh, well, let me touch them then. And blonde hair girl sort of, I guess, half jokingly is like, fine then. But then she's like, wait, do I really have to? Oh, the fucking hands leading up through that scene, man, of the blue hair girl. Jesus Christ. I did not expect fondling in this show.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It was strange. To say the least. Is this what girls do together, Kevin?
You know what? I think watching years of high school drama movies tells me that yes, they do. All of them, every single one of them. We need
first-hand. Get Claudia in the call right now.
I'm sure she'd be very willing to divulge this information.
But yeah, I mean, overall, when the show first started, or like when maybe within the first episode or so, I probably would have rated the show at a max, like high C tier. But the end of
but after the fondling,
S tier, S plus. No. After the end of the third episode, I honestly found myself enjoying the show a lot more than I did. First off, like the art style isn't necessarily my thing. The animation isn't like top tier or anything like that. And so that was my, first impressions. First impressions, you're going in, you see what you see, and then it seems sort of just like a generic slice of life high school anime with the premise of voice actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as it went on, I kind of enjoyed this sort of developing love-hate relationship between the two characters. And at least in my personal opinion, by the end of the last episode, for me, or the third episode, from what I could tell up to that point, I'd probably say what I could extrapolate it out to, it's probably max high B tier.
That's pretty good praise.
But what did you think, Kevin? I've done a lot of talking.
No. I'm glad, because usually I'm the one with the long drawn out soliloquy. So I'm glad it's on the other foot. I liked it. I did. I was a little disappointed, and I should have known from the cover, but I was hoping that this really would focus more on like the voice acting industry and stuff. So it's a little bit of a betrayal of my expectations that I really shouldn't have had in the first place, because I do believe the description might have also said something along the lines of them being idols. I could be wrong, but the thumbnail has them. The thumbnail literally has them in idol uniforms and stuff. So they're like not just, I wouldn't even say voice actors like their main job, right? Like they do song and dance, they do acting, and they're doing like voiceovers for a show. It's kind of like a multifaceted thing, which I'm assuming kind of is like an imitation of real life. I'm not too familiar. I'm not too familiar with the industry over there.
Heard of that before, and all of
right.
I mean, I know that like at least like it's not like I follow Japanese voice acting specifically all that much on Twitter. I'm more in like the artist scene, whether that's like manga artists or just like fan artists or whatever you want to say about that. But even in anime, like I haven't seen this sort of like multifaceted like career, I guess you would say.
So it's so funny actually, because watching the show, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's an episode of Trash Taste that I hate. Not that I hate. I love those guys over there. But just plugging another anime show is a little weird. But they have this interview with this former porn star who.
Oh, are you talking about? Oh God, Shibuya Kaho?
That's the one.
Yes,
that episode.
Because, Connor does so much content with her on YouTube.
Correct.
Yeah.
So she was. I watched the whole episode, and she talked a little bit about like joining an idol group while being a porn star. So, like, knowing that, this isn't like the weirdest thing to me. It's more of like, is it normal for high school up and coming voice talent to also like just be super multifaceted? I'm guessing, maybe it is in the industry over there. Who knows? But that all aside, the highlights of this show for me, the two characters bounce off each other very well. There is never really a moment where you feel like they've cast aside their differences and are like besties now, right? There's always like a little bit of that tension, a little bit of jealousy / they both make the comment that my image of you is being ruined by getting to know you.
That's one thing I enjoyed actually about watching it, is that because I feel like a lot of these shows tend to like really quickly within the like first arc transition from like the conflict to the like they're friends now,
And so they do a good job of like keeping the drama up. It's not so up that I would say that this is like a dramatic show, not including the very last scene, because there's a drama spike at the end of episode 3.
Oh my god, they left you on a cliffhanger.
They do leave you on a cliffhanger. The relationship is just really fun to watch. Like, one of my favorite aspects is that they both have confidence issues that manifest differently. So the blue-haired idol has like a little bit of a maybe not stage fright, that might be too, but she doesn't have too much experience, so her confidence level goes down when she's in a crowd, right?
Yeah, the live performance aspect.
The live performance, yeah, part of the job is not her favorite. The blonde one just plays down her talent so much and makes the blue-haired girl angry. Like, it's like, yo, like, you're being paid for a reason. It's because you're good. You know, like, you got to stop acting like you're just along for the ride. And then I found those, especially the blonde girl's confidence issues, I found it very relatable and you know, and very well portrayed. So I really like that aspect of the show. There's not much I would necessarily improve on, even, except for, I don't know, maybe at times there's like a sort of vibe where I don't know if the show is paced correctly. I don't know if it needs to be faster, if they need to flesh out the characters. I'm not entirely sure what it is. There's just a vibe there that isn't perfect. But I did enjoy my time, and I was hoping that this show would be good. And I think it's, at the very least, I think it's good. I think it's a low B-, maybe a high C if I was being harsh. I think I would vote to pass, personally. I am curious to see more. This is more enjoyable to me than A Condition Called Love, for example, right? Where I liked aspects of A Condition, but this had me more hooked by far.
Yeah, I can agree with you there, especially in the context of A Condition Called Love being, you know, in the genre that it is. It's a romance, right?
Right.
There's, in that context, I felt like I was left wanting a lot more out of it in those first 3 episodes. You know, I didn't have anything all that negative to say about it, but this one felt me. Oh my god, my words today are just not coming together. But voice actor radio really left me at the end of the 3rd episode wanting to know what happens next. Even if it's not like, you know, at that point in time, maybe like all that incredibly high rated of a show, in my opinion. In the fact itself that I want to know what happens says enough that, oh, it has a grab, and that's something good to say about it. Absolutely. I can agree with you. I wish they did flesh out some parts more, like with the older idol girl. She's got the wild fucking name. It's really long. Sakura Namiki, right? Their relationship between the two girls is really like short, I guess. Like, they sort of just leave it at like, oh, she's an older idol and she's sort of friends with both of them, right? But I feel like there's more to it than that, especially when it comes to the relationship between the two girls. And maybe it'll play out more in the future. But it is something that I felt like they sort of just like let ride with the story as it went, and not necessarily in like the greatest way possible.
Sakura Namiki Otome, I think is the name. Yeah,
long name.
By the way, shout outs to the girl who constantly is ill, I guess, who works in the studio with them.
Oh my god,
older lady.
Yes, Mireille Asek.
Mireille, yeah, she's great. Yeah, not much else to say except it's a pass from me, Tanner, pass from you. It sounds like.
Yeah, I would
And
pass.
Cade said fail. Well,
Now,
unfortunately,
did Cade elaborate at all?
No, he did not. He did not. But I'm not too surprised given his. I don't think drama is really his genre.
His usual disposition to
Yeah. Tanner, if you're willing, I'm going to be watching this in the end of season review no matter what, since we've got 2 passes.
Yeah.
So we can have a discussion later when the time arises.
I am very much down.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool. Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio, officially a pass. Mysterious Disappearances, officially a pass. And of course, this all culminated to what some would consider, I know there are some who will consider this the show of the season. Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf. And of course, that's where my why I wanted to give us all animal themed names. Apollo the Wise Wolf, Kevin the Clammy Crocodile. You know what I'm saying? There's a theme here, boys. There's a theme every time. As of late, the train one was my favorite. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one, I had fun with that one. But anyways, that's not the point. This is Spice and Wolf review time for the first 3 episodes. Angel, you're the biggest Spice and Wolf guy I know.
That is me.
Not only have you watched the original, you have... Wait, shit, I have that backwards. Not only did you watch this season's rendition of Spice and Wolf, you have watched the original. So, how did the first 3 episodes go for you? Did they meet your expectations? Underperform, or is there something you're disappointed about? And again, please try to keep it to the first 3 episodes. If you want, I can tell you.
For starters, I don't know where episode 3 ends.
Perfect. I figured you wouldn't. Okay. So I literally just watched this an hour ago. They're in the town. They're trying to verify the silver the circulation of the silver coin and the rumors, right? You remember what I'm talking about? Okay. And literally the episode ends with the merchant basically saying like, "Oh, I think I have a course of action I need to do given what Holo and I have established, ascertain. No, that's not the word I'm trying to say. What they figured out basically by from all the clues and the evidence that they have, right? So that's the end of episode 3, basically.
Okay. Well, to put it, I've been pretty happy with the remake. I believe it's the same voice actors as the original, so that's always a plus for me. And as you know, I'm a Spice and Wolf enjoyer myself. What else? Let's see. The pacing of the show seems to be slightly faster. They cut out some of the more unneeded stuff from the original, I guess, to try and get a little further. But yeah, well, what are your thoughts?
For having tried to have watched the original and bouncing off, I was in my very young anime phase back in the day, so I'm not too... Actually, matter of fact, I wasn't even into anime at that point. It was my ex-girlfriend at the time, at my sophomore year of high school, who was like, "Oh, this anime is my favorite," and I was like, "All right, let me watch it." And I was like, "Whoa, so bored," and that was my experience with the original. Now that I've grown up, now that I've grown up, I don't know if I would have necessarily that reaction, because my patience for slow shows has gone up quite a bit. But this is not a slow show. I was actually very pleased with how the episodes kind of melted, which is weird because in terms of like action, and I don't mean like action and like violence, I mean like just in terms of things happening on the screen, there's not like a whole lot, but there's something about how the merchant and Holo bounce off each other, especially with how like grandiose Holo is, in both her words and her actions, right? And how eccentric she is, I should say. It really does kind of. It's really enjoyable for me to watch. I actually really ended up like, really looking forward to the next episode. Every episode I watched. So I really quite like that. And couple that with the fact that this show, I had no expectations of it because I didn't know what it was about. But I figured it would be like maybe like a traveling supernatural mystery, but it seems to be more focused, at least at the beginning, more focused on the economics of this world.
It is.
And the trade of the trade of trade. The all the merchant stuff, like the negotiating with the fur coats and that that smell like apples, and the rumors of the silver coins going in and out of circulation. I found that all super interesting. I had a good time. I had a good time with this. Tanner.
Yes.
Spice and Wolf.
Spice and
what were
Wolf.
your thoughts?
So I never watched the original, right? But I've heard of it. Didn't really know what to expect of it, I guess. Obviously, I knew it was sort of a fantasy type of setting. But I don't know if I would say surprised is the right word, but like, because the phrase that I was really thinking of originally is like pleasantly surprised, but no, I really liked the show going in. I guess I went into it sort of blank, just not really knowing what to think of it. Obviously, I'm going in expecting something good because it's sort of a classic, right? That's being remade. But I really enjoyed it. I like the sort of mellow vibe that goes on, and especially how it dives really deep into the relationship between Hollow and I'm blanking on the guy's name. Angel, help me.
Spice.
Oh my god.
I don't recall his name at the moment either.
Oh man,
So
I literally
helpful.
just watched the third episode recently too. Let me just really Kraft Lawrence,
yeah.
Between Hollow and Kraft is what I'm gonna say as his name. And sort of they make, because I feel like in a lot of anime they make the gods very like overly pompous and like very all-knowing, right? And yes, Hollow definitely has certain aspects of that. She's very like sure of herself, I guess is the best way I can put it, because she doesn't like brag, or she's not like really crazy like into just her. I don't know if it's kind of hard to explain, and so that's why I'm sort of struggling, but at least that's the way I see it, is like she comes off as like she is in the story like a god that thrives off of the people in the town believing in her, and times have moved on, very reminiscent, I would say, of honestly current times, and the sort of the reduction in religious belief of new generations of people, right? And so her like moving out of this town that has carried her through centuries, and venturing off with this man into explore more of the world and sort of experiencing more aspects of what there is out there and applying the knowledge that she has acquired through her time of existing in that town into what Kraft does as a trader. And especially like what you said, Kevin, with the economics. I really do enjoy sort of like that sort of like bartering, not necessarily bartering because it's not bartering, but
there's an aspect of there's a negotiation of sorts.
Negotiation, yeah, and sort of this aspect of society that doesn't really quite exist anymore, but we all know about. Right, you see it a lot in sort of these old-timey type of shows, right? And I'm not necessarily speaking about anime when I'm speaking of that.
Right.
And and especially with the intro, for me, the intro really sets a big feeling or like a vibe, I guess you could say, of
the intro is very nostalgic for me.
Nostalgic, sort of like almost somber in some aspects, very mellow, not like overly exciting and things like that. It's mature, I guess you could say. That's not really quite the best word I'm looking for. But yeah, I really enjoy how the intro plays with the show as you watch it, because the intro is sort of this more melancholy vibe, and then sort of the juxtaposition of that with Hollow being very sort of charismatic, I guess you could say. Yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on the show. I really liked it. I did.
Something I kind of thought you guys were gonna say is knowing the show, it's not really known for like its animation or anything, but just more of the relationship between Holo and Lawrence. And you see that develop as the story progresses, right? And the main topic of the show is the economic side of the story, because, well, I mean, you're traveling with the merchant, right? So I expected you guys to be more bored with it, I guess you could say. And then a big part of the show does not really explain stuff to you in a way Cade would like and dislike. I think.
I'm genuinely curious to hear what Kevin says Cade's rating was.
Yeah, I wonder too. Because it's not gonna tell you outright. In fact, it's gonna expect you to know. How do I say it? The story is gonna expect you to know certain things about like those times, I guess.
Like more medieval type of era.
Kind of fill in the blanks with the knowledge you have.
Not quite medieval, but
no, it's post medieval for sure.
Yeah,
but it's still horse-drawn carts and things like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if I am correct, I think that like those topics I'm trying to discuss were more built, I guess, in the novel, since this is based off a light novel. But the animation has, its liberties to cut out certain parts, and yeah, you're just expecting to know all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd say especially with watching, lots of fantasy genre anime, you sort of get used to that trope. It's very common, right? Fantasy always happens in this sort of era, and so I don't think it's overly. I wouldn't say the show's asking a lot in not explaining it, if that makes sense. Unless you're trying to get at a different idea.
So far, what I was thinking more, Tanner, is that I could see you guys getting lost during certain parts of some of the arcs that are coming, I guess.
Moving forward, yeah.
Yes, until things are explained better at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these first 2
Past
episodes, I don't
episode
think.
3.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. No, these first 3 episodes I thought were very well crafted and didn't have any sort of air of I don't know, like what you're describing, knowledge that we don't have access to yet. That is a great gift. That is wonderful.
Thank you, Angel.
Look, I'm not a furry fan, but I do quite love Hollow. She is the animation quality way better. The animation quality is like super nice. I mean, it's not like, it's not like amazing, it's a fucking
It's
it's like I would describe this as like
I would describe it as passable.
I think it looks great.
I think it's better
Personally.
than passable.
I think it's smooth. I think there's never a moment of like oh, this is where it's obvious that corners are being cut in major scenes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In major scenes specifically.
It never detracts.
Yeah.
I'll change my statement to good.
Okay, I'm very fine with that. And the thing is, like, it's kind of weird because to say that it's good, but for an anime that is not focused on action, I feel like good animation's
That's
actually
all you need.
great animation. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think we've talked up enough about Spice and Wolf. I'm obviously passing it. Angel is Tanner, you just gave it out, and Cade. Let's see what Cade's. Oh, he gives it a pass. No elaboration, just a pass. I'll ask him to write out paragraphs next time. I'll tell him give us.
I would have loved to know what his thoughts were actually.
Yeah.
Don't put the notes.
I want to be able to argue with him when he's not here.
I want it to be like an argument that happens only in my head. Like I'm winning. That's funny. Boys, we got the rare Hundo Pass. We'll see if Cade watches radio. I know it's a genre that he really does not like, so we'll see if he passes, if he actually watches it. But
you're gonna have to give me a list of shows you want me to watch, just so I know what to prioritize.
Tanner, I'm gonna give you a list of shows that we have passed, and you're going to choose the shows that you're gonna dedicate time to.
Also, specifically, I want you to say like, oh, I want to talk about this with you, because I'll watch that show for that reason.
Oh, for sure. All right. I'll you know what? I'll make a Tanner list. I'll make a Tanner list for sure. Triple pass. Why did I close the Anti-Trends chart? I need it. Mysterious disappearances going through, Spice Wolf going through, voice actor radio going through. Let's talk.
All pass?
This is an all pass.
Wow.
With 3 shows, it's not unheard of. With 4 shows, it's rare now. It's rare these days.
Yeah. Now we're going to the wild cards, right?
Now we're going to the wild cards.
Wild.
Starting at...
Wait.
Actually, I should explain the concept.
Let me take a guess at the wild cards.
Wait. Just shut up. Let me explain the concept.
He fucking said 2 of them earlier.
So he did. So the idea of the wild card is during week 4, which is when we generally look at these lists at the top 20 anime on Anti-Trends. That is a snapshot in time. That is the first 3 to 4 episodes of an anime out for most anime that people are voting on, and that's what we base our anime of the season off of, right?
Yes.
So time passes. Some shows start a little late. Some shows maybe were not really known quantities at the
Some
beginning.
shows get indefinitely suspended and then suddenly now they're back, just like Near Automata just got
Correct.
announced that its next episode is coming out.
That's wild. That's wild. Wow. Okay. Anyways, I'm excited for that. And so what happens when time moves on AniTrends is that some shows leave the top 20 that we review. And generally those are the shows that we don't pass regardless, like looking at you, Grandpa and Grandma. And some shows take their place. We're going to talk about those shows that take their place. This is the 1 week that we add shows, and then, we do one more week of mid-season review, and then we finalize our end-of-season review content. So, starting at the number 17 spot is wait. Sorry. Angel, you want to take a stab? Go ahead.
All right. I'm assuming this is going to be Seventh Prince.
Seventh Prince. Yeah.
What I'll say about this is I tried to read the manga, got like 5 chapters in, dropped it.
Damn. Okay.
That's the one I'm least looking forward to.
I've heard the animation is kind of good. That's all I've heard.
Is that the best you can say?
Yes. The reason I dropped the manga, Tanner, is because there was too much dialogue. I was bored.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got
maybe
an opinion of this show. I say Cade because he doesn't like a lot of talking. Usually, I think.
I feel like I'm the exposition guy. I'm not a big exposition as your primary means of information is not my favorite.
Cade's more of he doesn't want the world explained to him, I think is the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Either way. Continue, Angel. Sorry.
That's all I had for Seventh Prince. Just a lot of dialogue in the at least in the first couple chapters. I got bored with it, dropped it, never picked it up. But animation, from what I've heard, is decent, pretty good. No mas.
All right. Well, tell us more about these anime that you think you can.
I'm assuming the other anime, Kevin, is level 2 super cheap powers.
Yep, that's one of them. That's one of the 4.
That is the one with the opening, Tanner.
What's worse about not what's worse, like level 2 super cheat powers, or what about my cheat skill? It's the fucking same title, practically.
All right, but this one doesn't have the opening, Tanner, right? Or sorry, this one does. This one
does have the opening. You say you're talking to me as though I know of this opening. Do I?
Maybe. If you knew Deer Chan or whatever, you probably might be. Yeah, you might be familiar with this opening. I have already watched the first 3 episodes of this one.
Okay. What is it called?
So you can actually talk about it. Nice.
Chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers.
Level 2 super.
It is on Crunchyroll.
Chilling.
Just watch the opening, I guess. It's the Danma Sama. Am I saying that right, Kevin? Do you even know what I'm talking about, Kevin?
I have zero clue what you were talking about.
Danma Sama to no love song.
Yes, that one, Tanner. All right. Well, this one has a unique opening, is what I'll say.
All right.
I'm watching it right now, Angel.
I am not. I will give it a week.
And I don't know what the
fourth
anyway would
third and fourth
would be.
Third and fourth.
Yeah,
you only got 2.
Well, I'm 2 out of 4 then. I don't know what the other 2 would be.
50%. Disappointing.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely, you'll take it. Damn. Well, I hope you're ready for 50% of your royalties, because apparently that sounds like a good deal to you. 50% of 0 is 0, unfortunately. All right, so just to recap quickly. Yes, I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability is one of the anime. Chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers at the 11th spot will be another one we'll be reviewing next week. At the number 12 spot, since apparently I'm going down now instead of up, the anime is called Mission Yozakura Family. And judging from this thumbnail, yeah, I actually have no thoughts. I cannot even tell what this show is, TBH, but whatever. And at the number 13 spot to round us out, a salad bowl of eccentrics.
Of course.
Of course. Well, we will go ahead and review those for next week's wild card mid-season review.
Angel?
Yes.
Is the girl in the opening
Oh boy.
the main character?
No, it's the guy.
Okay.
It's an interesting sequence I'm hearing.
It's giving me like Woda Koi opening vibes, but not as good, but also an extremely different vibe.
Whoa. All right. Now I'm extra confused.
Really?
You know what
I'm
I'm saying,
glad.
Angel?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
I'm glad you understand. It's not. It's unfortunately catchy.
Unfortunately, catchy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, we'll talk about it more on next week's podcast. I will be joined by these two lads. Like I said, Cade will join us eventually, hopefully for the end of season review. But we don't know yet what his timetable is. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the AAP, the NA Anime Podcast. Again, as always, live in your ears right now. If you had a question, comment, concern, I don't think we care. Right? Like, it's not like there's even a way for us to be reached, you know? Like, why would we
But wait,
care about that?
there is.
What?
Oh my god. Kevin, are you forgetting about our 2 ways to reach out to us and talk to us about whatever you might want to discuss?
Directly?
Directly.
Oh, no.
That's right. You can find us on x.com. That's right. It's officially x.com, but they will never let go of the twitter.com domain, thus it will forever remain twitter.com. That's right. On Twitter, at any anime pod. Of course it's Salt Angel. That's right. Any anime pod. Find us on Twitter. Anyways, you can also send us more long form conversations, or if you're just not a Twitter user, you can find us on Gmail. That's right. Any anime podcast at gmail.com. Please talk to us. Please. I'm begging you. Any anime podcast at gmail.com.
Tanner needs a friend.
Please. These guys save me.
Yeah. You know what? The show for voice actor radio, it's really based on us. I mean, we fucking hate each other.
You think I like you two?
And I have fondled Tanner's boobs.
My boobs have been fondled.
Ho. Thank you for joining us this week, and we look forward to seeing you again next week, if you are willing. Yeah, there's really not much else to say except goodbye, good night, good morning, whatever. Stay safe. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
No, you.
You know, the least you could have done is the howl, Angel.
Any away!
There we go. That's the one. That's what I'm talking. That's initiative right there.